What's going good, you guys? Your boy here, the Chris Phoenix, giving my MLB 2014 season, prediction, preview, whatever the hell you want to call it. Um, now I did this kind of last year with my sports account, my TCB Live account. I went by East Division. I'm not going to be doing that this upcoming round this year at least because it was just like too many videos, and it wasn't getting the amount of views that I wanted it to get. So I might as well just put it all together in one big old fat video. I'm not going to try to go into too much details with this. However, I'm just going to roll with this. So let's start with the American League East. That's right, the American League East. Now, for guys who don't know, I'm a diehard Boston Red Sox fan. Always have been, always will be. Won the World Series last year. Woo, that's right. Won the World Champs, baby. So, anyways, as you guys know, being the World Champs, a lot of people are looking at you, wondering what you're gonna do. You got a target on your back. So, what's really gonna make it really interesting is that to see how well the Red Sox are gonna do. Now, you look at their off season real quick, and they lost to Kobe Ellsbury, the Yankees. Eh, eh, it's a loss, obviously, and Jacoby Ellsbury is a very talented outfielder. The problem with Ellsbury is that he gets injured a lot. That's a problem with him. And I think the Yankees overpaid him. But then again, Yankees overpaying someone, it's not familiar. Nonetheless, they did. I think this year they're relying more on young talent like Bogarts, Jackie Bradley Jr., Will Middlebrooks is kind of getting like a second chance to come around because a couple of years ago he's the reason why the Boston Red Sox traded away Kevin Youkilis. Last season he struggled the whole entire season. He had some good spots here and there, but mostly struggled. And now he's going to be, as I believe right now, the starting third baseman for the Boston Red Sox. So it should be interesting to see how the Red Sox go from here on out. Brian Dempster, who was kind of last year, taking a year off, he just wants to get back into his mind system, whatever. And they just picked up Chris Castellano, former Dodger, former Brewer. He's doing what he can for his team right now. So I have some weird headphones, guys. Bear with me, alright? It's not the end of the world. I'm wearing headphones, alright? It's not like I'm the only one to ever have headphones while making a video, alright? But jeez. Anyways, so that's what the Red Sox. The Rays. Honestly, I think the Red Sox. I think they have a chance, and I think that probably will be in first place in American League East. The team that really scares me is the Tampa Bay Rays. And here's the reason why they scare me: because the Rays always have solid pitching day in and day out. No matter who the hell's in their starting lineup, they always have a shot at winning because of their pitching. They got good young pitching. Excuse me. They got Archer. They got, of course, David Price, former Cy Young Award winner. Uh, they got Helix. They got Helixson. Yeah, Helixson. They got Cobb. This team is just loaded with young starting pitchers. Not just starting pitchers, just young players in general. It seems like whenever the Rays lose this guy, they're screwed. Nope. Because they could go call up to Durham, call up this young kid that no one's ever heard about. Next thing you know, whether it's a pitcher, he goes freaking 7 innings, rolling out a hit with like 8 strikeouts, or if it's, let's say, a hitter, he was 4 for 5, freaking 2 homers and 6 RBIs. It's like, what the hell? Where do they get these guys from? But nonetheless, the Rays are a dangerous team. I expect them to make the playoffs, be a wild card. Now, the Baltimore Orioles, what the hell is the Orioles doing? Like, do they even know who their starting pitcher is? Like, this team had, I kid you not, like 25 different starting pitchers last season. I sat there going, just call it Bundy, alright? You might as well. But really, they just signed Nelson Cruz. They signed Ubaldo Jimenez. Ubaldo Jimenez is not what he used to be in Colorado several years ago. That young rookie that led his team, the Colorado Rockies, to face the Boston Red Sox in 2007 World Series. Not the same guy. He was better last season compared to previous years, but Nelson Cruz, I think, will be that nice bat in the middle of the lineup. So, and of course, they got Chris Davis, who had a breakout year and then some last season. He's a guy that had nonstop, bad, like he's at like 205 or something. All he used to do was strike out, and occasionally, of course, obviously he did last season, but he drove in a ton of runs. Obviously, he had what, like 50 plus home runs. So he he needs a guy that can play anywhere. He can play third base, first base. I believe he's played a little bit of second as well, and he can play in the outfield. Excuse me. But nonetheless, I question this Orioles team. Yes, they have talent, but do they have enough talent with pitching wise? I'm not so sure. Now you go to the Yankees. The Yankees were banged up last season. Mariano Rivera is gone. Derek Jeter, this is his last go around. Alex Rodriguez is officially done. Oh, basically. But with the team, they obviously need to stay healthy with the Yankees. A lot of concerns there, especially in the pitching. They spent all that money for Tanaka, who if you ever follow baseball at all, like ever, most of these Japanese pitchers, particularly starters, when they get imported from Japan to the United States, for the first couple of starts, they look phenomenal. They look great. But the problem is the hitters figure them out and they realize that they're just usually one or two dimensional pitchers. I'm not being racist or anything, but I've noticed this from experience. I mean, hell, we had this one guy, Daisuke Matsuzaka. Oh my God, Daisuke Matsuzaka, the next big thing. He has one good season, and the rest is total from there. All right, give me a freaking break. All right, and it's not just him. I've seen it with other guys as well. So really, with the Yankees, I still question. Their starting pitcher, CC's a back to you. Hey, you can't get worse than what last year, CC. I should know. You're on my starting freaking fantasy team. Anyway, uh, with the Yankees, it's just okay. Obviously, money, 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 money. New York bright lights. But at the same time, it's like, okay, are they going to go for another season rebuilding, or are they actually serious about contending? I mean, they lost Granderson, they lost Cano, so we'll see what happens there. The Blue Jays. I'm not gonna say much about the Blue Jays. Like this team is like the exact same team as last season, minus Raji Davis. All right, next. Seriously. All right, so then you go to the AL Central. You go to the Detroit Tigers, who met with the Boston Red Sox in the American League Championship Series. Obviously, the Tigers. They traded away Doug Fister, which actually kind of surprised him. Like, wow, they traded away Doug Fister. They traded away Prince Fielder for Ian Kinsler, who, I kind of, Prince Fielder, wasn't really doing all that much in Detroit, so I understand that move. Ian Kinsler is a very solid, to me, even to this day, an underrated second baseman. This guy can do it all. This guy has a great glove. This guy can hit for power. He can hit for contact. He's just got all the tools for Ian Kinsler. He's a great leadoff hitter, too. Go tell that any Texas Rangers fan. So, you know, you got that going. The problem I have with this team is their bullpen. That's another thing I have a problem with the Yankees. How do you replace Mariano Rivera? Technically, you can't, but you really trusted David Robinson. In this scenario for the Tigers, okay, you haven't really had a solid closer since Jose Valverde, like 2 years ago. Now I look at there like, okay, who you put in there? Coke, like really, who are you putting in that freaking closer role? And also with the starting pitching question a bit. I know Max Scherzer had an amazing season last season. Obviously, I believe he won the Cy Young. Could be wrong, but Justin Verlander, he struggled last season. I could see him, saying, "Oh no, I had one bad year," and then bounce back, kind of like a John Lester, kind of guy. So I think the Tigers will be fine. Cleveland Indians, the Cleveland Indians, honestly, I look at this team. This team is good. I think a lot of people are underlooking this team because, or say overlooking because this team is just this team's got talent like left and right. From the you look at the pitching rotation, it could get better. But you look at the bullpen, it looks pretty damn good. You look at the starting lineup, potentially, it looks pretty damn good too. You got Terry Francona, I know as a Red Sox fan, a very good, solid manager. So you've seen it just the last several years. Oh, the Indians just suck. And you look at it, one year. You give Terry Francona, Tito, you give him that, you give that clubhouse to him, it does wonders for your team. Cleveland, you're noticing something here. So then you go to the Kansas City Royals. With the Royals, it's like I don't like some of their guys. I didn't like how they traded away Will Myers to the Rays. I know they wanted to get James Shields so bad, but you know the fact that the Royals they got Mustakas, they got Perez. They got a good lot of young talent there in Kansas City. But the question is, will this young talent bring success. Obviously young talent, you want maturity to be there, and I don't know if maturity can and will be there. So question mark at Kansas City. Minnesota, ugh, Minnesota's gonna suck. I'm sorry, it's gonna suck. And the Chicago White Sox, yeah, they're rebuilding as well. Yeah, next. So then you go to the American League West. You have Moneyball, aka the Oakland A's. I like the Oakland A's. A lot of it has to do with Moneyball. I love the Moneyball, but with the Oakland A's, it's like it seems like they always get the leftovers from teams like the Red Sox or the Yankees or the Rays or whatever. Like some really talented, not big market, but at least well-known team. And all of a sudden they put them all together with a small budget. And beginning of the season, they're gonna when that calendar hits September, next thing you know, this team has won what 90+% of her games. I'm not exaggerating saying that. So now they let Grant Balfour go to the Rays. He's gonna be their closer in Tampa. Now they have Jim Johnson, the former Orioles closer, who a couple years ago was lights out, phenomenal. Last season, I believe he led the majors in blown saves last season, but he was also had 30+ saves. So it tells you how kind of inconsistent he was. It was like, oh yeah, he looked great one ninth in, the following night he just looked. So we'll see with that. Texas, I already told you, they got Prince Fielder for the Ian Kinsler trade. Texas, I think, can quietly make something. I think this could be the year they kind of bounce back. They didn't have a bad season last year. They got 91 wins, but still, they look like at times that they had this division, and then next thing you know, here comes Oakland sneaking out of nowhere, and eventually takes the American League West. The Los Angeles Angels and Anaheim. Oh my God. See, LA, this is what happens when you have too much talent, aka Mike Trout, aka Albert Pujols, aka Josh Hamilton. You put them all together on one freaking team, and it just doesn't work. Alright? Your pitching was horrible last season. And I know Jared Weaver missed quite a bit, obviously the ace of their staff. And you look at the bullpen, I think they still got Ernesto Gray as their freaking closer. Like, how long are you gonna have this son of a gun as your closer, alright? The reason why the Padres gave him to you for a box of cookies. Alright, seriously. There's a reason for that. But, the Angels, obviously, with the talent they have on their team, they got the chance to make the playoffs. Will they? We'll see. Seattle, I know. Oh, they added Robinson Cano. Oh, they added Fernando Rodney. Oh, they added him. They added this. They want to put Jesus Montero as first base. So, I know. With the Mariners, it's like their pitching is not bad. I think they have, like, I can never say some of the pitcher's name. Ikoma, or freaking whatever, the Asian, he's an Asian pitcher, starting pitcher for the Mariners. This guy is good. Right? Talented. It's great. Same with King Felix. We all know how good he is. Problem is, not so much the pitching, it's the motherfucking hitting on this team. Like, seriously. Like, how many years in a row have we seen that the Mariners, like, team batting average is like 212 or 220? Something ridiculously bad like that. But, obviously, with the addition of Robinson Cano, very good contact hitter, also has some power. That's going to change. At least a little bit. At least you think that will change. How much money Seattle just gave freaking Robinson Cano. And then you got the Houston Astros. Guys, the team lost 111 games last season and went on a 15-game losing streak to end the season. Yeah, Houston, going to the American League probably wasn't the best idea, but yeah, anyways. Okay, so that's through the whole American League. Now moving on to the National League. Look at the Atlanta Braves. The Braves always have that winning tradition, the whole, last season they got the Upton brothers, BJ and Justin. BJ struggled as I knew he would. Justin was probably, at the first month of the season, I would say the best hitter in all of baseball for the first month. And then he kind of faded away a little bit. Not that he was doing bad. He had a good year. He had a decent year. But it was just kind of like, ugh. And then with the I believe, they let Tim Hudson go. He's now in San Francisco. So, they let some pieces go. They added a few back. What's his name? Freaking Craig Kimbrell, I think his name. Yeah, the closer, Kimbrel, closer for the Atlanta Braves, one of the best closers on baseball, plain and simple. This guy's got electric stuff. This guy's good, and he'll keep the Braves in the win column. So, nice job for Atlanta. I could see them win the division for another year. The Washington Nationals. The Nationals struggled like hell in the first half of the season. Like, this team was bad. This team was horrible. And then they eventually, I think around, was it August and September, they finally woke up, but it was kind of like too little too late. The Braves had a 10-game lead over them in the National League East, and eventually, obviously, won the National League East and went to the playoffs. The Nationals just sat at home going, yeah. So, really, when you got Bryce Harper, when you got Steven Strasburg, when you got Jason Worth, when you have, you know, all these talented guys on your team, I mentioned they got Doug Fister from the Tigers. They got all the talent there. It's a question they could put it all together. Rafael Soriano, my God. I'm sure the Yankees are missing Rafael Soriano right now, because I honestly, you'd have to be crazy to say that you would rather have freaking someone like, what's his name? God damn, was it Robertson? Yeah, you'd rather have freaking Robertson close your freaking games if you're the Yankees and Rafael Soriano, who was just your setup guy, and then he was just a closer whenever you freaking Joe Girardi's like, oh, I think I want to give Mariano a day off. But, the Nationals, they got the talent. They're kind of like the Angels. They got the talent, but they just need to fix it together type of deal. So, but they didn't do us that, obviously, because the freaking Angels were like in third place. The Nationals were second. The Mets, oh my God. Whoa, you got Curtis Granderson. That's not going to save your season. All right, plain and simple. Like, at least you got Matt Harvey. Okay. The Phillies. The Phillies are just getting old. Just one of those teams that you look at, they're like old. Like Jimmy Rollins is getting old. Ryan Howard's getting old. Jason Utley's getting old, injured. All those guys are getting old and injured. Carlos Ruiz needs to lay off the freaking performance-enhancing drugs. Like, damn. Like, freaking, this team is so old. Roy Halladay's like, I've had enough. I gotta get out of here. Like, and he retired. So, with the Phillies, it's like, they're obviously rebuilding, but they just, like, they're one of those teams. Obviously, they have stuff Cole Hamler. They got Cliff Lee. I'm not going to pretend they don't have them. Obviously, two very good starting pitchers. But I wouldn't be surprised if guys like Howard and Utley and Rollins all get traded when it comes to the trading deadline. If I was Philadelphia, I'd do that. Get some salary cap because you're not going far. So, excuse me. And then you got the Miami Marlins, who, other than Giancarlo Stanton and freaking Jose Fernandez, there is no bright spot for the Marlins. I know, they signed Jared Sakaramaki as your starting as your catcher. Whoa, like seriously. Jared Sakaramaki had a good year last year. I'm not gonna kid around that, but the Marlins again. But this is the Marlins. Alright, like every 10 years, like once every 10 years, they got a good team. They make the playoffs. They make the World Series. I know they haven't done that since like 2003, but oh my God, man! Like seriously, it's just like I'm a diehard baseball fan, and I'm looking at half these names on this roster, and I'm sitting here going, "Who the hell are you?" Like seriously, that's how like unknown these players are. Like, bro, so some of them may be good. I'm not gonna say, oh, they're all bad, but Steve Cishek, older. All right, so that's with the East. Now let's go to the NL Central. St. Louis Cardinals. Obviously, team wins the World Series. Pretty good year. Now the Cardinals is the Cardinals just proved that like they can lose anyone, like obviously lose Albert Pujols and still be fine. They just lost Carlos Belcher on this offseason. Yankees. They'll be fine, most likely, because the Cardinals are kind of like the Braves in the National League. They get these young son of a bitches that you never heard of in your whole freaking life, and out of nowhere, bam, they're good. And I'm sitting here going, how the hell are you this good? Guys like Kelly, you got Carpenter, Chris Carpenter, Matt Carpenter. You got, obviously Adam Wainwright, Alan Craig. Most of these guys are kind of homegrown talent that they didn't come from trades or picking up on off season. They came from their developmental system, from their minor league system. So the Cardinals always find a way, and they probably will find a way as always. So Pittsburgh Pirates. I was rooting for the Pirates in the wild card because obviously, you know, let's face it, the only thing Pittsburgh's ever been cheering for the last decade have been the Steelers, all right? And if you want to get in depth with hockey, you make a case of the Penguins, but really with the Pirates, they've just been horrible for like the longest time until last season. They finally made the playoffs. They got good. I was surprisingly enough, Francisco Liriano was a freaking like ace of their staff. Francisco Liriano, the guy that no one wanted. Minnesota didn't want him back. Chicago, being the White Sox, they didn't want him back. But no, Pittsburgh's like, let's get Liriano. Let's see how this works. And it worked perfect. It worked great for them. So with the Pirates, maybe they can contend again this year. We'll see. Cincinnati Reds. Dusty Baker, he got fired, buddy. But with the Reds, it's just obviously you got Votto, you got Frazier, you got a good team. Obviously I think the second straight year, the Cardinals, the Pirates, and the Reds are all gonna beat the hell out of each other just to get the NL Central because that's how good and competitive it is. So the Milwaukee Brewers, do I need to say more about the Brewers? And then with the Cubs, okay, I feel bad for the Cubs. Alright, like deep down, I think I'm a Cubs fan. Just think about it. I have never heard anyone, unless you're a St. Louis Cardinals fan, you might be lying to yourself. I have never met someone that hates the Chicago Cubs. When you haven't won a World Series in over 100 mother frickin' years, I just feel bad for you. What the hell? I know, dude, Upstate is still the GM of the frickin' uh, Cubs. But still, it's like, oh my god, like I feel bad for the Cubs. The Cubs have so much history. They're just one of those historic franchises in Major League Baseball, and you see them not winning World Series for 100 years. You're like, damn. But moving on, you go to the National League West, the LA Dodgers. The LA Dodgers. I mean, they're got you up weak. You got Puig, you got Kemp, you got Ethier, you got Crawford, you got Gonzalez. That's all you need. And of course, you got Clayton Kershaw, the guy that got paid like a shitload of money this offseason. So, the Dodgers will be fine. But the thing, if I was the Dodgers, this I'd be worried. I'd be worried about the Arizona Diamondbacks. I'm not just saying, because you live in Arizona. No, because they got some good, young talent. And this was a team that was expected to suck last season. They were a 500 club last year. Last time I checked, being a 500, not that bad compared to people thinking that you're going to be completely like down in the dumps, meaning last place or second to last place. But the Diamondbacks were very impressive last season. They got Mark Trumbull from the Angels, the Dodgers. The Angels, he's a pretty good power hitter. He's going to help that lineup. Obviously, Paul Goldschmidt had a breakout year last year. I expect him to do the same again this year. So the pitching staff's not too bad either. So San Diego Padres, it's like the Blue Jays. I look at this roster, I swear to God, it's the same exact roster from last season. The San Francisco Giants, okay, the Giants just had a freaking World Series hangover. Alright, 2 years ago, you won the freaking World Series. Last year, you're just like, 10 months ago was garbage. Matt Cain was injured for a good part of the season. You go and pick up Tim Hudson, old man Hudson. I'm just sitting there going, Barry Zito finally left, thank God. And, it's just, okay. I think the Giants are going to be better than what they were last year. I'm pretty sure they're going to be at least second to third place next year for this coming season. But, I'm still not totally impressed with their ball club. And last, Colorado Rockies. Yeah, Coors Field, such a great hitter's ballpark. Too bad when you're a pitcher, the ball's just flying out of the ballpark, even into their home team. But nonetheless, that's it for my prediction. Sorry if I went a little long. I do apologize. Holy shit, 24 minutes. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch y'all later. Peace.